As we begin chapter 4 of Proverbs, we see Solomon here, who is now conveying the words of his father to his son. He is expressing the importance of having wisdom and understanding and retaining that word of God in his heart. As we go through verses 1 through 6, here it says, "Listen, my son, to a father's instruction. Pay attention and gain understanding. I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching. For I too was a son to my father, still tender and cherished by my mother. Then he taught me, and he said to me, take hold of my words with all of your heart. Keep my commands, and you will live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forsake my words or turn away from them. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you." Now let's move to verses 7 through 9. "Wisdom is the primary thing. Therefore get wisdom. Indeed, give all that you have acquired in order to acquire wisdom. Hold her in high esteem, and she will exalt you. If you embrace her, she will honor you. She will set a garland of grace upon your head and present you with a crown of beauty." Once again, we learn how vital having godly wisdom is. This is inviting us to impress upon our children that the most important thing in life is to cherish divine wisdom. "Listen, my son, accept what I say, and the years of your life will be many. I will instruct you in the way of wisdom and lead you along straight paths. When you walk, your steps will not be hampered. When you run, you will not stumble. Hold on to instruction. Do not let it go. Guard it well, for it is your life." Here we have Solomon conveying to his son how he received wisdom. He goes on to explain what to expect from a life of wisdom. He is now imploring us to accept his sayings, to take a hold of instruction the same way he did when his father taught him. You see, life is better through wisdom. Solomon is once again inviting us to take ownership of wisdom and to apply it in our lives. In verse 12, he said, "We will not stumble," which doesn't mean that life will be without difficulties. But with the application of godly wisdom, we can overcome any situation that we are facing. Wisdom allows us to see opportunity in difficulties. Verses 14 through 19 now is focusing on staying away from the wicked. Here the father is warning his son to stay away from those that do wickedness. Do not go near them. Do not take the path that they take, because they lie down at night thinking of wicked things to do. They wake up in the morning, they think of wicked things to do. But in verses 18, it says, "The path of the righteous is like the sun, shining brighter and brighter each day." And then you have the comparison. "But the way of the wicked," in verse 19, "is like deep darkness. They do not know what make them stumble." And so there's a clear comparison. Do you want to do what is right, or do you want to do what is wrong? So here you find a stern warning to stay away from wickedness, to stay away from evil and those that walk in that path of wickedness. So verses 20 through 22, it's just a reminder as the father continues speaking to his son, to just tell him to pay attention to his words, to do not let them out of his sight, but to keep them within his heart. For those words are life to those who find them, and health to one's body. The word of God, his command, is like food to your soul. It brings life to your body. Now let's go through verses 23 to 27. Here we have a stern warning in these verses, because it's telling you, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. and to keep our mouth from speaking perverse things, from speaking corrupt things, to keep our eyes fixed on God, and to be careful how we walk, where we go, what we do. And verse 27 warns us, do not turn to the left or to the right, but keep your foot from evil. So above all else, we learn to guard our heart. So are you guarding your heart today? Let's dig a little deeper into verses 23, where it says to guard your heart. We understand that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Wisdom is so important. And so it says to guard our heart, because we understand that God is the source of wisdom. And He will reveal that wisdom to anyone who truly seeks to grasp that, who study, who wants to gain understanding. And so we understand that if we find that wisdom, we stay on that path, and we are diligent in our effort, that we will find that success. Because there are distractions and obstacles that comes into our lives, that the evil that are out there that are in the path that we are on. And so if we understand wisdom and we are able to use wisdom, we are able to guard our heart from the issues of life, from the things that happen to us daily, from the things that can corrupt our hearts and our mind and to turn us against God. If we can guard our heart against those things, then we will be able to produce favorable fruit with God and for God and through God in this world. Now let's see what we've learned so far as we wrap up chapter 4 of Proverbs. Number 1, we learned that having godly wisdom is vital. Number 2, we learned that we must diligently seek wisdom. Number 3, we must not forget what we have learned in the Word of God. Number 4 warns us to stay away from the wicked. Have nothing to do with them. Number 5, avoid all perverse talk. Stay away from corrupt speech. Number 6, do not turn to the left or the right, but keep your eyes on God. Keep the Word of God in your heart. Number 7, stay focused. Stay focused on what you are called to do. So remember, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and in all you're getting, get understanding. Until next time, bye.